Yo everyone, what is going on? I hope you are all keeping well. Hope you are all back in some form of a routine and feeling good after the Christmas break. I am feeling like that myself. I feel so much better than I did just like a week ago. But yeah, Rach actually did catch COVID about 10 days ago, I suppose. So this has been my bed for the last week. Thankfully, she is COVID free now, so things are back to normal. But yeah, that was not ideal. I couldn't go to the gym, just couldn't do anything. But yeah, she's fine. The symptoms are really, really mild. I don't know how I've escaped this. Literally everybody around me has gotten it. My mom, my dad, my brother has gotten it twice. Rach has gotten it twice. Her family have all gotten it. And I haven't. I'm actually invincible. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the 3 golden rules of fat loss. And when I see people make videos about this, they're all kind of superficial. So calorie deficit and things like that. But I think at this point, most of you know what a calorie deficit is, that it is essential for fat loss. Most of you know that following a high protein diet is going to be beneficial. But even though you do know this, you find it quite difficult to stick to a plan and remain consistent on a weekly and on a monthly basis. And that is what this video is going to be all about. Just telling you the things that you really, really need to know so you can stick to your diet and make progress month after month. Oh, and as well as that, I also have a couple of brand new low calorie, high protein recipes that you are going to love. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video because it's going to be a good one. Okay, so before we go to my first meal, I want to talk about the first golden rule of fat loss, and that is that you will need to get really, really good at planning ahead. And as a coach, this is something that I place a huge emphasis on because I just know how important that is. And even if you go and check out my client testimonials on my Instagram or on my website, the people that you see here, the people that get the best of the best results, these are people that just got really organized, really efficient, and really good at planning their days and their weeks in advance. Because as most of you probably know, it's a lot easier to stay on track and to hit your goals during the quieter weeks, but most of us do lead pretty busy lives. So, when things start picking up in work, when things start picking up in college, if 1 or 2 things don't go our way during the week, it's so easy to say, okay, well, I don't have time to get my workout in this evening, or I don't have time to prep my meals, or I don't have time to, do my weekly shop. Whereas in reality, you do actually have that time. You are just not being organized and you are just not being efficient with it. So if this is something that you typically really struggle with, then what I really recommend doing is scheduling in a planning session every weekend. So every Saturday or every Sunday, give yourself a time on one of those days as well. You are going to spend 20 minutes and you are going to plan the week ahead as best as you possibly can. So you can plan your activities, so the days and the times you're going to get your workouts in, the days and the times you are going to do your cardio. You can plan your nutrition as well. So if you meal prep, the days you are going to meal prep. So you might schedule one in on the weekend and one in midweek. This usually works really, really well. And if you don't meal prep, something that you could even do is just plan a couple of your meals in advance. So on Monday, I'm going to have this for dinner. On Tuesday, I'm going to have this for dinner, etc. And that way, it just prevents you from making poor last minute decisions when you get home from college or from work late or whatever it is. And you should also plan your weekly shop in advance as well. And that way, you just don't have the excuse that you're too busy and as a result you have nothing in the fridge and all of a sudden you're ordering takeaway or just going for that easy option that doesn't line up with your goals. And you know what? This isn't massively difficult at all, and not much is going to change from a week to week basis. So once you have that structure in place, it's quite easy to stick to. But waking up on a Monday morning and just having that clarity, knowing when you are getting your workouts in, knowing when you are doing your meal prep, knowing when you are doing your weekly shop, that puts you at an immediate advantage for the week ahead. But yeah, let's give these golden rules a little bit of a break and go to my first meal. Okay, so this is the perfect little breakfast or lunch recipe, and I'm going to kick things off by adding 150 ml of egg whites to a pan. I'm going to season with some salt and some black pepper. I'm going to scramble the egg whites up. Then I'm going to add 2 of these low-fat pork sausages that I've chopped up into little pieces to the pan, and per sausage there's only 43 calories and 6.7 grams of protein. Really good. And I have separated the egg whites and the sausages because I'm going to season the sausages with some smoked paprika. Okay, so next up I'm going to be getting 2 mini tortilla wraps. I got these in Aldi, only 91 calories per wrap. I am going to add my eggs, my sausages. I'm going to add 25 grams of salsa to each wrap. I'm going to use 15 grams in total of 50% less fat cheese. And then I am just going to garnish with some red onion and a little bit of spring onion as well. Oh, and there is currently a big January sale on the J Clark Fitness Nutrition Hub. And for those of you who don't know what this is, it's a place that you get access to all of my recipes. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, desserts. There are literally hundreds at this stage, and for each recipe you get a full video demonstration, you get a full calorie and macro breakdown, ingredients, directions, so it's all really clear. And as well as that, as well as getting access to my recipes, you also get access to my personal calorie and macro calculator. So if you are somebody who just doesn't really know, or you've always struggled with setting yourself calorie and macro targets based on your goal, then this is literally perfect for you. So yeah, if you are really looking to step things up in January, then I will leave the link to the Nutrition Hub in the comments section. It will be the top comment, and if you use the code nutrition20 at the checkout, you will get 20% off. Okay, so the second golden rule of fat loss that I want to talk about is forming a routine on the weekend. And this is an area that determines the success of so many people's fitness goals, because at the end of the day, Friday to Sunday is 42% of your week. And if you are giving zero regard to your goals 42% of the time, it's going to be so hard to actually see results. And the reason it's actually so important to give the weekend some extra thought is because most of us are in a set routine during the week anyway. It is literally put in place for us due to work or college or whatever it is. But the weekend comes, we haven't given it any thought whatsoever. We have no routine in place. And as a result, that just leads to us sitting on the couch, doing absolutely no activity, eating too much chocolate, ordering takeaway, and just being in that vicious cycle. So what I recommend doing is setting aside even 15 minutes on a Thursday or a Friday and planning ahead for the weekend, putting some structure in place. So for example, you could say on Saturday, I'm going to wake up at 9:30, I'm going to have some porridge for breakfast, I'll hit the gym, I'll come home, I'll have a burrito bowl for lunch, and I'm going to leave my dinner free because, I might treat myself, I might get a takeaway, or I might go for a meal out, or something like that. And you could put a similar structure in place on Sunday as well. Putting a structure in place on Sunday, if you are going out on a Saturday night, is so beneficial, because as you know, it is so easy to wake up on a Sunday morning kind of hungover and just completely ignore your fitness goals. Whereas if you even have a couple of meals planned, if you have a couple of meals prepped, you are a lot more likely to just get right back on track. So yeah, if you are a bit of a weekend warrior, then setting aside that 15 minutes on a Thursday or a Friday, putting a structure in place for the weekend, it's going to be so beneficial. Okay, so big fan of this next recipe. It's kind of like the first one in the sense that it's just so easy to make, and it just feels like such a treat for so few calories. Okay, so I'm going to start by spraying my air fryer with some 1 cal spray. I'm going to add in 200 grams of sweet potato that I've chopped into thin slices. And here's one up close just to give you an idea of what they look like. Then I'm going to spray those with some 1 cal spray. Season with a bit of salt, and air fry them for about 12 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. And with your sweet potato slices, there is a fine line between them being cooked very nicely versus burnt to a crisp. So what I recommend doing is giving them a little bit of a shake halfway, turn them over, and just keep an eye on them. Okay, so as my sweet potato slices are cooking away, I'm going to add 125 grams of 5% fat beef mince to a pan. That is going to be followed by half of a green pepper. And I'm going to season with some salt, some garlic, some chili flakes, and of course some smoked paprika. Okay, everything is good to go, and I'm going to start by adding my sweet potato slices to an oven-proof dish. Okay, next on goes my mince and peppers. Next, I'm going to add 30 grams of green jalapenos, 50 grams of hot salsa, 20 grams of 50% less fat cheese, and I'm going to pop this baby in the oven just for a few minutes until the cheese melts on top. Okay, so the final golden rule of fat loss that I want to talk about is actually setting yourself a realistic timeline or time frame to achieve your goal. And as a general guideline, I recommend giving yourself twice as long as what you think it is going to take. And that is because for most people, this is going to be a lot more accurate. Because sure, you might be able to achieve your goals in the space of 8 or 12 weeks if things go perfectly to plan. So you have no stressful weeks in work or in college, last minute plans don't come up, you don't have a few last minute nights out, you don't have a couple of days along the way where you just say screw it, you don't have any trips away, and nothing comes up in your personal life, you don't get sick, you don't catch COVID. But life doesn't work that way, and each month, you know, is going to come with its own set of challenges. So as I said, give yourself double the time that, you know, what you actually think it will take. And if you achieve your goal before then, great, you know, you've achieved your goal. But if you don't, then you know it's okay, because, you know, you actually have a life, you're human, and you're not a robot. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, what is an extra few months? So what if it takes you 6 months to achieve your goal instead of 3 months? If this is something that you've been struggling with or you've wanted for many, many years, then that extra bit of time is just insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up there, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my recipes. I hope you enjoyed my 3 golden rules of fat loss and took some value from them. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you comment below and let me know if you could. That would be great. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, I will be pumping out the content over the course of 2022. So yeah, make sure you stick around. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are all keeping well, and I'll see you in the next video.